2020 freshman class presidential debate. Here are our candidates: Jamie Ceruto, Gabby Stoller, Ashni Sani, and Lexi Cohen. So, for this debate, we're going to do a couple of questions, each question limited to about 30 seconds. But before we start the questions, I'm going to allow each candidate to have a little bit of an opening statement, and we're going to start with Jamie Ceruto.
So hi, class of 2020, Jamie Ceruto here. I feel that I have a lot of great experience with public speaking and organization through different programs I've participated in. I've been a big volunteer throughout town and in the community, and I really feel that I have some great ideas that can really bring our class together and bring the spirit back into the freshman year.
Thank you, Jamie. Gabby?
Hi, so I'm running for class president because I really want to make the most of our class's 4 years in high school. I'm not about the title or being in charge. I just feel like I have a really good connection with all the different groups within our class. And I came here in 7th grade, so I had to get to know everybody, and I genuinely care about everybody. So hopefully I'll be able to connect us all, and we'll have a great time in high school.
Thank you. Ashni?
Hi, my name is Ashni Sani, and I'm running for president because I believe that I can create not only a balanced environment, but also a fun and exciting environment for the class of 2020. I believe that it's more than just being a leader, but also to be a friend that's always there to help people through the challenges of high school, and that's really what I'm here to do.
Thank you. Lexi?
So most people are probably wondering why me over these other great candidates. And, well, if you were to vote for me, I promise I would be your voice because, especially as a freshman, it's really hard to get your voice heard, and I think it's important to hear everyone's. And I promise that I will be a person who has determination, drive, and commitment, and I promise to make it a fun year.
Okay, thank you. So now it's going to be a time where I'm going to ask the candidates some questions. I've written up 3 questions. Each candidate is going to get 2 of them. And we're going to start with Lexi. And the question for you is, communication with your class is a big part of being a class officer. I've noticed that not every freshman currently has a Facebook. How do you plan to communicate your ideas with everyone in your class?
Well, Facebook is not as popular among the freshman class, and although this is true, there are a lot of other ways to communicate. For instance, Snapchat is very popular, and if you made like a presidential Snapchat and you posted on your story different events or ideas for the class, that's a really good way to get your idea out. Also, the same goes for an Instagram page. If that's something that the freshman class decides they want, I'd be really open to doing that. And also there's something called GroupMe where you can add as many people as you need into a group chat and communicate with all of them. So.
Thank you, Lexi. The next question is for Ashni. And the question is, fundraising is an important part of being a class officer. The great class officers have innovative ideas for fundraising. What are some ideas you have as you prepare to be class president?
So yes, fundraising is a very important part. So I would like to collaborate with places like Fiamma, La Strada, and ask them if maybe $1 of all the purchases could go to the class of 2020. Along with this, I could also sell school merchandise for the class of 2020, which funds could go to our class to support everyone. And lastly, doing fun events like ice cream socials and bowling could also be a great fundraiser.
Thank you. And our third question is for Gabby. At times in years past, the freshman class hasn't had the same level of spirit as all the other classes during things like Spirit Week and Battle of the Classes. How do you plan on motivating your class and keeping them spirited?
Okay, so personally, I am a very enthusiastic and spirited person. I love encouraging people to support one another. Being on close-knit sports teams and being the captain of volleyball has really taught me that the best way to rally support and encouragement is by having a positive attitude and pre-planning, which I consider myself good at doing. I believe that through my entire class of peers, which I know relatively well, we're already very spirited and we all love contributing and helping one another. So the easiest tactic would be to simply encourage people to reach out, communicate, and try new things.
Thank you, Gabby. And now the next question is for you, Jamie. We're going to go back to the first question, actually. Communication with your class is a big part of being a class officer. I've noticed not every freshman currently has a Facebook. How do you plan to communicate your ideas with everyone in the freshman class.
You know, Rob, you have a great point there that not everybody has a Facebook. You know, not everybody's linked with all the social medias. You know, but we all do have a school email account. Now, I know it may not be the most exciting, but we could, you know, create a special email account, a special group where we could send out emails to the entire class, as well as possibly having mini assemblies where we can just communicate small messages to the students in person. I feel that it's important for people to have a backup written copy, as well as being able to listen to what they need to do.
Thank you, Jamie. And we're going to actually ask you another question here. At times in years past, the freshman class hasn't had the same level of spirit as all the other classes during things like Spirit Week and Battle of the Classes. How do you plan on motivating your class and keeping them spirited?
You know, I think the best way to keep the class spirited is by being a part of the spirit myself. As a class officer, I would participate in all the events and everything and promote everything as much as possible. And I think it's very important to make sure that these events, you know, are to a certain degree where they'll keep the interest of the class. You know, these days the millennials, you know, they're older than us, but you know, these days everything is always changing. Everything is so quick that we need to rethink how we approach different activities and try to grasp the students' attention.
Thank you, Jamie. And now, Gabby, we're going to ask you the second question, which was, fundraising is an important part of being a class officer. The great class officers have innovative ideas for fundraising. What are some of your ideas as you prepare to be class president?
Okay, so first of all, I think fundraising will be a lot of fun to contribute to. Bake sales and car washes always work really well. The volleyball teams just last week had a car wash and we raised nearly $1,000. And again, with our very spirited class already of 2020, everyone will be participating. And I think another way to get everyone involved is to do good and donate a portion of each of our fundraisers to a club that supports a charity, or just find a separate charity that we want to donate to, because I think that that's just an easy way to contribute to good things. And then competition drives everyone to participate more. So maybe homeroom challenges to fundraise money for whatever we need would be a good way to fundraise.
Thank you, Gabby. Now, Ashni, I'm going to go to the third question again, which is, at times in years past, the freshman class hasn't had the same level of spirit as all of the other classes during things like Spirit Week and Battle of the Classes. How do you plan on motivating your class and keep them spirited?
So I believe to have a spirited class, you do need to have the board being spirited already. So having a very happy and excited board who's ready to create fun challenges for their class is a very vital part of this. And also, I believe that we could hold little get-togethers, like maybe an ice cream social, where all the students could really get to know each other and think of each other less as competition but more as a team. And also doing little tiny activities like bowling, going to see a movie, or just something where everyone can be together doing something that they do with their friend group, but instead more with their peers.
Thank you. And Lexi, we're going to finish off with you, and we're going to go back to the fundraising idea, which was fundraising is an important part of being a class officer. The great class officers have innovative ideas for fundraising. What are some of the ideas that you have as you prepare to be the class president?
I believe that it's really important for everyone, especially at Millburn High School, to understand how important fundraising is. Not only for our own class of 2020, because I think we're all very privileged to get the education that we do. And I think in a lot of other places, people aren't as lucky. So as president, I would definitely try to have like a school supply drive or something like that to send school supplies to other places where education is not such an easy thing to come by. And for someone to get through the life that they want, they really need a proper education, and I think it's really important.
Thank you, Lexi. Now, as we conclude, I want to congratulate each candidate for running a very good race. You guys did a very good job on your responses. They were very thorough. I'm very impressed. Make sure you vote tomorrow. Stay tuned. We have a soccer game tonight. Millburn plays Seton Hall at 7 o'clock. Stay tuned, and you're watching Studio 462. Goodbye for now. We good?